All right, welcome back everyone. In this video, we're going to deploy our React application, or pretty much any application, to Heroku. Okay, so previous videos, we got our React app up and running. We connected it to to GitHub, and then we deployed it to Surge. Notice that this hasn't updated yet. I have to manually launch a build, and then that Surge command again to update this page, which isn't that cumbersome, but more so than Netlify that just automatically updated as soon as I push to commit to GitHub. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and look at Heroku. So to deploy an application to Heroku, the easiest way is to download the Heroku CLI. So I'm just going to say Heroku CLI download. We'll click on this link for the Heroku Dev Center. And then based on your operating system, you'll go ahead and run one of these. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to come back into VS Code, and I should just be able to run it in here and install that. All right, so that install went ahead and finished. I can verify that by typing in Heroku-V, and we should see a nice version number popping up here. Okay, which means I can use the Heroku CLI. Now, there's two ways that I can create a Heroku application. One is by running Heroku create right here, which will create a new application. And the other is I could actually go to Heroku.com, go to the Dev Center, and make a new application. I'll go ahead and do it from here today. So I'm going to say Heroku create, and I'll just call this testing application, which is what we called our React app. Testing application's already taken. Let's try 2 again. What? Okay, let's try 25. Or 225. That'll work. Okay, good. So we have our application. And that hasn't changed any of my code. It's just setting up some Heroku settings. If I was going to go to Heroku.com, then it would actually show, that I created that app. If you look here, here's what my Heroku app looks like, because I haven't pushed any of my changes to it yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and push our changes to it and get this thing up and running. To help us with this, I'm going to type in git remote-v, and look, we have a new remote. When we ran that Heroku create command, it created a new remote, and you can see here's my testing application 225 URL. And so if I wanted to deploy something there, I would have to push something to that remote. Now, again, on the Heroku dashboard, if I log in, I can actually change this to only use GitHub. But let's say I wanted to leave them as separate entities, I can, and then I can just control when I want to push a build to Heroku. So to be able to deploy a React application, we do have to go to the Heroku website. So I'm just going to go to Heroku.com, and I'll log in. Okay, and once I'm logged in, you can see here's our testing application 225. Okay, I can look at this. If we look at deploy, you can see right now it's using Heroku Git. Let's go ahead and just change this to GitHub right now. And I'll just say testing application is what we called it. And connect. Since we're already here, let's go ahead and do that. Now you can change your main deploy branch from master to main. We'll leave it the way it is, and we'll enable automatic deploys. Okay, so now anytime I push to master, we'll go ahead and update this. Okay, now let's test this real fast and let's see what happens. So I'm going to make another change. I'm going to say add another paragraph, and I'll say testing for Heroku, and I'll hit save. And if we come back, we should see our local host updating. Okay, so we see testing for Heroku. Now let's go ahead and push that change up to GitHub. So I'm going to type in git add dot to add that change, and git commit Heroku test, and git push. And so that git push, if we watch this, it will only go to my GitHub remote. I didn't push to my Heroku remote. Okay, now let's go to GitHub, make sure that change took place. You can see we had a commit 13 seconds ago, and we have that Heroku test commit. All right. Now let's look at, let's see, go to overview, settings, there we go. Where's our, oh, there's our URL, testing application 225. This also showed up in the Heroku CLI in our terminal, and we can actually add domains if we want to in Heroku, which is a nice thing that they offer. Okay, so you can see that this didn't really change anything. Okay, we still have this same app or the same code up and running that we had before. To fix this, let's go back to the dashboard, and we need to say add Buildpack. Okay, now there isn't one that's built in for React right here, and so we're going to go ahead and install one from somewhere else. Okay, so I'm going to enter the Buildpack URL. I'll include this in the description of our video here, and I'll hit Save Changes. Okay, your new Buildpack configuration will be used when this app is next deployed. Okay, let's go ahead and make one more change. I'm just going to copy that line of code and paste it. And then I'm going to run these same commands in here. Git add, Heroku test 2, and git push. Okay, let's see if that works. We may have to run a build for Heroku just like we did for Surge. Let's see here. So I'm going to come over to GitHub, make sure that it updated over here. You can see here's our Heroku test 2. And let's look over here as well. And there it is. Okay, here's our application. We have testing for Heroku. That's interesting. Let's go back over to GitHub. I'm going to go back to our last commit, Heroku test 2. Interesting. So it looks like it may be a commit behind or something. It's probably in the process of building that second push that we just did. Let's go to deploy, and we can probably see. Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah, build in progress. Okay, so it's still working on that build. But you can see that it is kicking off these builds automatically just from me pushing to GitHub, which is really nice. So we have successfully pushed our application, our React application, to Heroku in this video. I hope that this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.